Answer on this one should be 2. Number 2. Answer is 1. Number 3. On this one, you should have 16 divided by 8, which is 2. 2 plus 8 is 10. Divided by 2 is 5. Squared is 25. Number 4. Okay, you should have had 60 plus 40 is 100. Divided by 25 is 4. Squared is 16. Last one. 4 squared plus 6 squared. That's 16 plus 36 is 52. Divided by 26 is 2. Squared is 4. Bring up the lottery number. The winning number today is...
Oh, come on.
5. Homework check. Bring it up here to the table. Homework answers. Let me see 1 through 3. If you have all 3 right, come and get it. If you have all 3 of them, come and get it. Number 7 should be not factorable. And number 8 should be positive 1. Bring up 10 through 12. If you have all 3 of them, come get 3. 13 through 15. If you have 3 of them, come and get it. Any more questions about the homework? All right. The objective for today: to solve quadratic equations by factoring, and the new learning target is the plus minus and minus minus cases. Example number 1. Minus minus means you're going to have a plus minus combination in your factoring. So I need 2 numbers that multiply to get negative 10, which means they have to be plus minus, but they add to get negative 3. So your only choices are negative 1 and positive 10, or 1 and negative 10, 2 and negative 5, negative 2, or positive 5. So which pair of numbers will add to get negative 3? 2, negative 5, yeah. So the 2 is positive, 5 is negative, so that's why they go in these spots. And then when you solve it down, x plus 2 equals 0 gives you x equals negative 2, and x minus 5 equals 0 gives you x equals 5. Example number 2. 2 numbers that multiply to get negative 21, but they add to get positive 4. Remember, it has to be plus and then minus. The minus minus and plus minus cases all have factors that have to be plus minus. Negative 21, we could get a negative 1 positive 21, or a 1 negative 21. 3 negative 7, negative 3 positive 7. Which pair? Negative 3 and 7, so the 3 goes here, 7 there. So x plus 7 equals 0 is x equals negative 7, and x minus 3 equals 0 is x equals 3. Practice number 1. On the practice, your factors should have a difference of 2. Just an absolute difference of 2. So 1 and 35 isn't going to help. The only other options are 5 and 7, so you have to get the right sign combination now. In order to get a negative 2, you would have to start with a positive 5 and then take 7 away. So that'll leave you with an answer of negative 5 or 7. Answer on the bonus is not factorable. Your factors on this are going to have to be 7 minus 6. That's where we get an answer of -7 or 6. When you go through your factors like 1 and 42, so one would have to be negative, the other one positive. You have two sets. What's the difference between 1 and 42? 42 minus 1 is what? 41. Is that anywhere near 1? So think about your factors and the difference between the two when it's a plus minus or minus minus combination. You're not going to be needing anything that has a difference of 41 in there for something that has 1. So that means the numbers have to be closer together. If you just have a 1 in there, the difference between your two factors is going to be 1. And it works for the rest of them as well. On this one, x plus 4, x minus 1. And you should have a -4 or +1. The bonus problem should factor out as +9 and -4. That's where you're going to come up with -9 or +4. Your factors should be x plus 3, x minus 6, and then that's where you get a -3 or +6. Well, yeah. Well, you have to do at least a couple speed problems, even if you don't want to. Answer should be 5. Answer is 64. 10 million to the first one. Answer is 2. 10 million to the first one. Answer is 4. 10 million to the first one. Answer is 8. Example number 3. The difference between the absolute value of the two factors has got to be 1. So what two numbers that are just 1 apart would multiply to get 72? 9 and 8. So now we have to figure out what the signs are. So we'll have a 9 and an 8. Now how would I add those two together to get a -1? Which one must be negative? 9. So it's -9 plus 8. And don't forget you set each equal to 0. And when you do that, you get x is 9. And then x is -8. Should be or. And on this one, the factors must have a difference of 2. So what two numbers multiply to get 48, but yet they're only 2 apart? 8 and 6. So we'll have an 8 and a 6. Now, one has to be plus, one has to be minus to add to get a +2. Which one is minus? -6 and then +8. So x plus 8 equals 0 gives me x equals 8, or x minus 6 equals 0 gives me, that should be a -8, and x minus 6 equals 0 gives me a +6. Alright, practice 3. This one should be x plus 2 and then x minus 8. You'll get a -2 or +8. This one comes out to be hopefully yellow. There we go. X plus 8 and then x minus 5. should be a negative 8 or 5. This one should be x plus 4 and then x minus 5. That will give you a negative 4 or 5.